Welcome back to ShopDog-Garage. Gonna be a 55 Chevy video, I think. So it is absolutely freezing in here. We're warming it up. It was 40 and I'm just too cold to deal with that. So I think we're gonna attack that battery tray first, because we already know where that has to go. It just can't sit where it would have from the factory. It's got to sit a little off. So let's attack that first. Okay, so here this thing is. Unfortunately, we didn't have this when it went off to get the hood, but really, we couldn't mount it until we knew how high we could sit the battery anyway. So at this point, I just tried to climb in there to see what's behind here, and opening that door is just not happening. So I'm going to drop this on the ground and roll her forward. 3 things at a time. Before we get too far, we've got that sitting as low as I can make it sit with the biggest battery we have. And, you know, it's also not a real battery. That helps. So now we're going to Play-Doh test this and see, do we hit this? Because that's a maybe. Let's find out. Alright, I'll show you guys the aftermath, but I need my hands to do this. But right now we got little towers of Play-Doh. Let's find out who gets mushed. Okay, got the hood down. You can almost see in there. I can't, but I almost can. Let's find out. Well, look at that. We actually didn't touch any Play-Doh. So, this goes back further than it looks. This bar here hinges back, or we just got lucky in the way it fell. So, I'm going to move Play-Doh, probably not very much. I'm going to do one more look and see where this line winds up and see if I can figure that out. But yeah, this could work because the battery we plan to use is shorter than this one. So that would be nice. Okay, the car is sitting level-ish. It's got a slight left bias. Maybe I'll throw some air in this tire. But I have now marked where these would traditionally go. Obviously, we're not going to be able to get this hole. That's going to wind up cut. But I'm pretty sure I can get this hole, and if I can get this one, I can probably add one once I know how high up I can cut. I want to know where this falls, and I need to find out if this falls in a place I can live with, or if we have to cut and move that down as well. So those are the next things I'm marking. Okay, so here's the thought process. Car was level-ish, use that. So now I know roughly where things need to be. Now I'm going to take those points and go inside the car and make sure that they're not going to be a problem. Alright, that's not terrifying or nothing. So we just got our first location hole done. We're going to get that peeled, get a rev nut in there, throw a bolt in, and verify that we're happy with our other locations. Okay, and because of this bump here, we couldn't get in straight. So you can see it kind of sticks out a little. But then, once we're here, we line up pretty good. So, let's go ahead and get those 2 in. Okay, so right now we have 3. Maybe we're going to add one more. We're not sure yet. We got to get it mounted and see. Okay, and it looks like it's probably not a bad idea to just add that one more bolt right here. So, we'll do it. Now, better to do it now than later. One thing that's nice, I decided to throw that in there, is now this hose is under no duress at all. So, this light went dim on me. So, alright, let's mark it for the 4th hole. Alright, let's see. We've got 2 bolts out there, 2 bolts in here. It's pretty sturdy. And it doesn't pinch this hose, not even a little bit. So that makes me happy too. Yeah, I think this is going to work out. And it's Play-Doh o'clock. So as we're pulling her down, you can see all of that slides way back. Well, maybe you can't see anymore. You can see right there. Shouldn't even come close to the posts. Well, you can see the battery from out here. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, that'll be weird. You can see the battery. We gotta make sure we buy an attractive battery. Didn't think about that, did we? Okay.
Hit that time.
Yeah, but look how much higher it hit. See, that's still an inch higher than that.
That's no inch.
Did you hear that, people? He said that's not an inch. Okay, let's make everybody sick.
Huh.
Look at that.
Rest my case.
Oh, it fell over. Remembering too that this is the tallest battery you could come up with. So I think we're gonna be okay here. Should we go get an actual battery? No? Okay. Okay, so one of the other things is instead of doing the J-hook clamp thing that the factory did, I'm trying to figure out how to alter the tray to be something more like a modern one. Of course, the one I went and grabbed is broken, but this part's in pretty good shape. So you could weld that to it and then dig out another one and cut this tab off of that. And wouldn't that be nice if we could mount it like a modern battery? We have been struggling with where to put our breather. And we were down to two places. One, we could put like some standoffs and place it at an angle here on the inner, which has some advantages to hose routing. Or two, we can cut a new plate that bolts to the back of the prop valve and then places it right in front of it, and also has some advantages to hose routing. So just got to think this through, how best to deal with this. And with that, I think we're going to call it. We've been looking at where to mount stuff. This may wind up on a fender. It's the first MSD box I've ever bought that didn't come with those little rubber isolators. It's the first time I wanted to use them, because it would really space it off of that rib that where we're thinking. We got an idea of where we want to mount the breather assembly. We have the battery tray mounted. In the next few weeks, we'll pull it and try to make it so it works with the modern GM setup. You know, the little lips like we talked about earlier. So, yeah, it's coming along. It's been a little bit more work than we expected. But honestly, some of these things, you think to yourself, wow, why didn't we do this before? Well, because we needed the hood. It always comes down to where's the hood close. So, we'll get there. I'm surprised for an engine bay this big, how little room there actually is in here. It just blows my mind every time we look at it. Anyway, we'll toss it over to ShopRex. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed watching us putzing around. Have a good night. ShopRex has to remember, safety first.